Hello students, welcome to the session, and today we are going to learn about chapter number 15. The name of this chapter is Winds, Storms and Cyclones. We all know all living organisms which live on earth, they need oxygen for breathing. When they are breathe, they take in oxygen and take out carbon dioxide. These all types of gases always remain in air. Air is also very important in our life. But what happens when the high speed air is blowing around us? And when we want to save our lives, then we need different nutrients from food and our different types of need are fulfilled by the natural things which are stay around us. Among them, air is our first priority for getting oxygen, but high speed air is become winds, and because of this we have to suffer from many types of problems. And in this chapter we discussed about these all types of problems and how we can save ourselves from them. If you live in North India, you might be familiar with dust storms in summer. These are high-speed drive-ins carrying dust particles. Those who live near the eastern coast might have experienced cyclones. You must have heard that hundreds of people are often killed or injured in cyclones. You have heard about this. In many countries, these types of problems always going on because of the cyclones. Their homes and belongings are also washed away by the flood water. On our Earth's surface, there is 75% of Earth's surface is covered by water. And because of this problem, many types of countries have to suffer from the flood. You might also have experienced thunder, lightning during the monsoon season. All these are related to high speed winds and cause a lot of financial loss and bring misery to humans. Financial loss, you all know, uh, our present time, we are all suffer from the COVID-19, and because of these, schools are closing at our nowadays, and because of COVID-19, many people have also suffered from the financial condition because they are now jobless. They have not work because they all afraid to go out from house because of this virus. So like this, we have many types of problems. Because of these problems, we have to suffer from different types of problems like financial, health problems. In this chapter, we will learn how thunderstorms and cyclones are formed, what is their impact on human and man-made infrastructures, and if there are many possibilities to safeguard mankind from these losses. We will first of all discuss certain properties of air which are responsible for the formation of thunderstorms, cyclones, and tornadoes. You can see here thunderstorms, picture of thunderstorm, and in A and B cyclones. Now our first topic is air exerts pressure. Have you ever noticed that when you ride a bicycle against the direction of wind, you have to use extra energy to ride. If you want to ride your bicycle like this, then you have used extra energy. Similarly, when you row a boat in the direction opposite to that of wind, you have to put extra efforts. In other words, rowing the boat in the direction of wind is easier than against the direction of wind. All these observations show that air exerts pressures. This type of situation almost we all have familiar with this situation. And when we want to go opposite direction of the wind, then we use extra energy. Now we look our next page. Activity 15.1. We have here activity 15.1 to show that air exerts pressure. Take a tin can with a lid and fill it two-thirds with water. Fill it two-thirds fill with water. Heat the water on a burner till the water starts boiling. You can see here we have also diagram available. First they boil water on stand in beaker. Now put off the burner. Cover the mouth of the can with its lid tightly and pour cold water on the hot can as shown in the figure given alongside. You will observe that the tin loses its shape. What happens when you put hot water in tin? The tin is bent here. You will observe that the tin loses its shape. When the water in the can is heated, it changes into vapor form. We all know when we boil water, it converts in water vapor form. When cold water runs over the tin can containing hot water, some of the steam in the can turns back to its liquid state, reducing the amount of air inside. This reduces the air pressure inside the can compared to the air pressure outside. As a result, the can gets compressed or dishaped. Because of this reason, the shape of tin is changed here. Then air pressure reduces when wind speed increases. Air pressure reduces when wind speed increases. And for this we have also again activity 15.2 because through activity you can explain easily. And for this we have also first we have activity 15.2 to show that air pressure reduces when wind is blowing at a high speed. Take a bottle with wide mouth. Crumble a piece of paper into a ball smaller than the size of the mouth of the bottle. You can see here how. Hold the bottle horizontally and put the paper ball just inside the mouth of the bottle as shown in the figure given alongside. Now blow on the paper ball so that it goes inside the bottle. Are you able to do so? Why is it that the paper ball does not go inside the bottle? Now ask your friends to do so. You can even use different size bottle for this activity. When we blow air into the mouth of the bottle, the air near the paper ball has higher speed. This decreases the pressure of air in that area. Whereas the pressure is higher inside the bottle, which does not allow the paper ball to enter, or the higher pressure of air inside pushes the paper ball out. So this activity air pressure reduces when wind is blowing at a high speed. We have again activity 15.3. You can see in your textbook to show that high speed wind reduces air pressure, and for this you have also figure available. Take two equal size balloons, fill them 1/3 with water and the rest with air. Tie them to a string in such a way that they are about 8 to 10 cm apart from each other as shown in the figure given alongside. Now blow hard in the space between the two balloons. What will you observe? You will observe that they will come close to each other. When you blew between the balloons, they moved close to each other instead of going apart. When you blew, the air pressure between the two balloons was reduced, whereas the pressure outside the balloons was higher. The higher outside pressure pushed the two balloons close to each other. Then again we have activity 15.4. to show that high-speed winds lifts and blows off articles. Take a strip of paper about 15 centimeter long and 3 centimeter wide. Hold it firmly with your thumb and finger as shown in the figure given alongside. Now blow hard over the paper strip. You will observe that the other end of the paper strip rises up, which was earlier hanging down. When you blow over the paper strip, the increased wind speed reduces the air pressure on top. The pressure below the paper strip was higher and lifted it up. That prove high-speed winds lifts and blows off articles. From activity 15.2, 15.3 and 15.4, we have seen that increased wind speed is accompanied by reduction in air pressure. This property of wind can even blow off the roofs of buildings if they are not strong enough to sustain the pressure difference developed due to high speed winds. Many types of house have not capable, so they can easily go away with the high speed winds. Do you know what is wind? How it produced and why does it become very destructive at times? When air moves, it is called wind, or in other words, moving air. Moving air is called wind. But why does it air move? Air moves from the region of high air pressure to the region of low air pressure. The greater the difference in the pressure, greater is the speed of the wind. How is pressure difference created in nature? Activity 15.5 and 15.6 will help you to understand about this in nature. Because moving air is always called wind. Air expands on heating. Air expands on heating. And for this again we have activity 15.5. You can see here to show that air expands on heating. How air expands when we heat them. Take a test tube and stretch a balloon over its open and tightly with the help of sellotape. You can see here how they make in part A hot water, part B ice cold water, and part C water at normal temperature. Now take a beaker containing and they fill of water. Now again take out the test tube from the beaker containing crushed ice and put in a beaker containing water at room temperature. That means in different beaker they have filled up water at different temperature. In part A hot water, in part B ice cold water, and in part C normal temperature, room temperature water. The size of the balloon remains the same when the test tube is kept at normal room temperature. The size of balloon is remain same. You can see in part C, whereas it gets inflated at high temperature. In part A, at deflated at low temperature in part B. The inference we draw from this activity is that heating expands air while cooling contracts it. You can also understand about it easily through this activity. In part A, the size of balloon is changed here. In part B, also some change there. But in part C, no change is there. That means this activity proves when we heat air, it will expand. Then you might have observed that it is hard to open a new jam bottle. It is hard to open a new jam bottle. Any type of new bottle, it is hard to open. The jam is hot when it is put into the bottle. As a result, the air inside the jar expands and is replaced by water vapor. We all know when we boil water, the form of water will change in water vapor form. When the jam cools, the air pressure reduces and water vapor condenses, reducing the pressure even more. It is the air pressure outside which pushes the lid tightly and makes it difficult to open. Because of this reason, we cannot easily open the new lid of jam bottle. Then we have again activity 15.6 to prove that hot air is light and rises. And for this, take two empty paper cups of the same size and hang them in an inverted position on the two ends of a stick. Tie a piece of thread in the middle of the stick and hang it so that the two cups are in balanced position. Now put a burning candle just below one of the hanging cups and observe the change. We will observe this activity on our new page. You will observe that the balancing of the two cups is disturbed. The cup under which the candle is lit moves up. The lighted candle warms the surrounding air. As a result, the air becomes light and rises and pushes the paper cup up. It is important to note here that on heating, air expands and occupies more space. Always remember, when we heat air, it will expand and occupy more space. The warm air, therefore, is lighter than the cold air and rises. The cold air from the surroundings rushes to fill its space, resulting in convection currents. Formation of wind currents is a continuous process in nature. We will now discuss how wind current operate. So students, in our this session we have discussed about some topics, but about the generation of wind and about other topics we will discuss in our next session. Till then, take care.